Howdy, y'all. Welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I'm Mr. Randy, and today we're going to be doing a full review. Today's full review episode is going to be of the Rebecca Creek. Okay, I'll stop. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. Sometimes I just can't help myself. All my returning viewers know, I can never really help myself. So today's full review episode is going to be of the Rebecca Creek Fine Texas Blended Whiskey. 40% alcohol by volume. This is the little guy, the 375. Story behind this is I was at a tire shop getting my tires and rotated and balanced and whatnot. And I'm standing outside. They told me it might take up to an hour. So this is distilled right here, Rebecca Creek, San Antonio, which is, I want to say it's probably about an hour drive north. It's on the uppermost part of the San Antonio, greater San Antonio area. But let's go ahead and get this popped real quick. Continue the story. Synthetic cork, won't hold it against you. But I was standing outside, the weather was nice, and I'm like sitting there, and I'm looking, and I see a sign over the way, and I'm like, that's a wine and spirit store. I'm gonna go over there and check it out. I went over there, checked it out. Rebecca Creek. It's I think it's one of three only interesting things I was seeing there. I never really remember seeing this bottle on the shelves of the big box stores. I thought sometimes in the big box stores, they don't carry the smaller ones. Sometimes they don't even carry the 750s. They go right to the 175s. I understand between marketing and all that stuff that sometimes you would sell a 1.75 liter much better than you would a 750 or a 375. Sometimes the 375s sell better than anything else. But that was interesting. I'm like, I don't remember seeing it on the store at Specs or on the shelf at Total Wine. But then again, Rebecca Creek was never really in my purview. Let's go ahead and move on, shall we? So Mr. Randy does a 3-part series to his reviews. Part 1, off the rip, get it home, crack it open, share my first pour with you, because that's what we do. Part 2, full review, where we're at today. We drink it down halfway. It's a lot faster to get there with these smaller ones. I let it sit on the shelf for about a week. Then I go online, find out what I can. Did find out quite a bit about this one. Quite a bit indeed. So let's go ahead and get moving on, shall we? Part 3. We'll bring it back. We talk about it. We're going to talk about it in a minute. I'm going to score it. I'm going to continue to drink it. Part 3. Final pour, thusly named. We'll have the final pour in that glass and compare it to the first pour off the rip and everything in between. Now, do keep in mind that this is a blended whiskey. It is Texas blended whiskey. On the nose, it did turn down a little bit from off the rip. It's got a very light on the nose now. There's not a whole lot that I'm picking up here. But as I work this, they're going to say they use aged whiskeys and bourbon. So I am going to take that as it's American whiskeys and a bourbon. Probably their bourbon, right? They probably, I don't know. We've had something from them before, that Texas Ranger flavored whiskey. Anywho, they said that they make this with the limestone filtered waters from their Edwards aquifer. The mash bill on this is 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% two-row malted barley. My writing's got a little messy, I'm sorry. But then they go on to tell you completely, like from start to finish, this whole, from grain to glass. I know that's like a Heaven Hill thing, right? Grain to glass. They tell you everything. 45 minutes cooking, 5 to 7 days fermenting, and then they use what's called a Carl. It's a C-A-R-L copper pot still. I didn't see what that, it makes 1,000 gallons at a time, so it's small batch. They started this in 2009. They use a two-part distillery. First run, low wine distillation strip run. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure a few of you will. I think Mickey would be able to explain that. But here's the sad part. Okay, Don and Ben's is the place I bought it from. Sad part is Mr. Randy paid $22.32 out the door for this bottle. And later that day on his way home, he stopped at his local Specs. And full 750 of this bottle was $23 out the door. Like solid on the nose, 23. You could have had a full size for just a few cents more if you just would have waited. I was impatient. But I don't regret this one. So let's go ahead and move on. 80 proof. So it is a lower proof for most of us anyways. So, oh yeah. It was a run on it. I had so much information. It goes 125 into the barrel. White oak, number 4, charred for 2 to 7 years. And it is chill filtered. Well, I almost forgot that last part, but we'll move on. It's got a pretty easy nose. So let's go ahead and move on. The nose is easy, caramel, spice, oak. Nothing that really stands out a whole lot is the fact that nothing really stands out a whole lot. But let's go ahead and move on to the palate. It tastes like watered down Red Hots. Like if you took some Red Hots and you put them in a glass of vodka maybe, and they let it just sit there and let that flavoring come off of it into the glass. That's what I'm getting. It's very light. It's only 40%. It drinks very easy, very light, kind of smooth, but nothing heavy-handed, nothing here to really keep us from going on. And we're worked that out already. Let's go ahead and get that second one on there and see what she really has to say. One thing I don't understand is, no, I do understand. I explained it in the full review of that Texas Ranger. I didn't show you. I didn't let you sit there long enough, did I? It's got good viscosity. It transfers decently to the mouth. It's got a very light touch of oiliness. You can definitely taste quality as step by step for the procedure. I'd like to know more about this blend that they're doing. I might look into that and maybe have it ready for you on the final pour. I might have to really get into that maybe tonight. I hope I have some time to be able to do that. Aged whiskeys and bourbon. So is it their bourbon? Is it their own whiskeys? Is it somebody else's? It doesn't say. It goes really into depth about other parts of the process. But maybe some of that crucial information is being subdued. Excuse me. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so while you're there. Skip the algorithm. Doesn't do any of us any favors. This is a very light drinker of a fine Texas blended whiskey. A lot of Texas whiskeys are going to be a little more on the rougher character side because Texas is kind of rough in most places. I've seen places here in Texas that make me think this isn't Texas. But then there's plenty you turn around and you're like, oh yeah, there it is. I love when foreigners, like I talk to people from the UK and we talk about Texas and they just don't get it. They see it on a map, but it just doesn't click. You know, it's you're misfiring. Like over in the UK, you could travel like an hour, and you can probably travel through 3 different countries in an hour. And a little boat ride, and you could be in another country. Another little boat ride in another country. Completely different types of cultures, but all somewhat similar. In Texas, you could drive from before sunup till the next sunup. It doesn't take quite that long, but it possibly could. Let's go ahead and get this finish done. Okay, I'm getting a little bit more flavor on this finish because I did work it a little more than that second palating or the first. I'm not getting a whole lot of action going on. It's more of barely a touch of warmth on the back end. There's some flavor that wants to linger on the lips, so I keep licking them. And it's like almost an all-encompassing sort of very light touch on the entire palate. Here comes some heat on the back end. Well, it took its time, but it came up relatively quickly. Okay. Okay. Caught me talking smack, and then you were like, oh, yeah? Sucker punch me. Not that hard. It's like a slap, like a sucker slap. Okay. So you got some length to this finish, and it's nice. There's not a whole lot of intensity. That sudden burst of warmth in the back was a nice little surprise. But I'm getting a lot of nice low, delicate flavor, and it's delicious. It's nice. Nothing really crazy and out of, woo, no whiz bang firecracker, lightning show. But it's very easy. It's very easy to drink. I could definitely see some people who do not want to go any higher than 80 proof on whiskey would definitely enjoy this. So there is an avenue. There's a category. Okay, let's score it. Okay. Not going to blame the bottle for my mistake on not getting the full for the 750, but I would definitely say go for the 750. But if all you have available is the 375, definitely take this for a test drive. I think it's worth it. So let's just put a score on it. Shoot it from the hip. I'm gonna give it a strong 3 out of 5. Strong 3 out of 5. Rebecca Creek is wide open with this whole information about what's this bottle. Not so much about the Texas Ranger. But I understand the Texas Ranger is a flavored whiskey, and flavored whiskeys are just slightly above liqueurs. They're supposed to be used for like mixes and cocktails and stuff like that, not to really be drank neat. But still, what's in that bottle of Texas Ranger is disappointing. To have that Texas Ranger on the bottle, slightly depressing about that. But anyways, we're moving on. My fair price for this bottle, we'll go with the 750. I would say leave it alone. It's under 25 bucks. It would probably be 25 in most places. If it's, let me know in the comment section if you see this on the shelf somewhere and you know how much it costs, or you can see it, whatever. I'd like to know how much you'd be paying for it in your area, especially if you're outside of Texas. How much pricing gets packed on once it leaves the state? Love to know that. Would I buy this again? I do believe they have 2 more expressions. I do remember seeing 1 more expression above this one. I can't remember what it was, but it looked fancy. This looks kind of nice and fine, but the other one looked kind of expensive. But maybe we'll find out. Anywho, love to know in the comment section where you're at. What are you drinking? Have you ever had Rebecca Creek? Does it make it to your state or your country or your side of the planet? Anywho, as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. We're going to call it a good one.